Okay, in zone one, we have a hyperspeed peaking method in our loading zone. Now, with our 3-day undulated model, this is how you actually would use the hyperspeed in a 3-day model for peaking. Or you could actually use it in a different way where you could just follow the co-contractions during a week. So what you have here is an example of a mixture of blocks, and that's what I talk about in my peaking manual. And day one, let me give you an example of co-contraction if you haven't seen it yet. So essentially you can do this with a limb, any limb, or leg or arm, obviously. And you can see here what's going on is the athlete has now basically took 2 or 3 bands and put his legs in between the particular bands, and you can put them dead in the middle, but since this is a hamstring one, you can even actually focus more on the hamstrings. So you put if you put 2 bands around here, you put 3 bands below on the hamstrings and 1 on top, and then what transpires is that when you slam down against the hamstring, there's greater resistance, and when the band sends you back up, this band facilitates you coming back down. And if you want to click on well, let me cover this. You can see how fast their legs are moving at that particular time. Okay, now what happens is you can actually, to understand what I've caught and what I've tested, you can actually just click on that video and find out. But that's the loading day 1. It's also the same for loading day 1 and 2 on a 5-day plan. So this would be a Monday, Tuesday, that type of exercise. Now that's where the foot, remember, that's with the foot in the middle. That's peaking method 1, or the arm in the middle. Peaking method 2 is a rebound method where your band isn't in the middle, and let me click that here. In this particular one, you have an arm that is not, let me replay that. You see this athlete, as he's holding his arm and he's pushing into the band, that he's not in between, his arm will actually separate from the band. If I can catch the right frame, let's see if we get a better one here. Let's see if I can catch it. You can see he just separated from the, yeah, so right there he's separated from the band, and this is called, I call it a rebound effect, but it's essentially a plyometric for the rear shoulder, and that's on the day 2 of the loading model that we're talking about. And with that being said, then what you have, so remember, this one was in between, this one you separated. Now this one is the oscillatory isometric, is the most work capacity. What you have here is essentially, you'll notice the athlete, it's the same as almost rebound, except that the athlete's told not to separate from the band. It's not a plyometrics. It's a fast twitch, continuously fire of his musculature in the rear delta of the shoulders right here. So he never leaves, and we'll come back, he's never leaving that, and you can't believe the amount of work capacity that this particular method works. Now again, this is all the different loading concepts if you wanted to undulate them in a course of a week to work everything. Now in the peaking manual, and you can find it where to get it if you just click on these other links, I'll do whole blocks of the co-contraction. I'll do a whole block of the rebound method where the whole week is the same thing, and then the oscillatory. It just depends what your main focus is in regards to the particular athlete, and this will all come together in all my training models soon.